Good morning, Facebook family and friends. Again, today it is June the 13th, Monday, June 13th, 2016. We just witnessed over the weekend a horrific attack against homosexuals, the LGBT community in Orlando at a nightclub. People out of the club enjoying their night, hanging out at a club, and here comes a crazy man with intent to kill gay people. And he succeeded in shooting and killing 49 people and himself, and injuring another 53 people, and just causing hundreds of families, in residents of Orlando, to deal with an issue that many of us tend to ignore. I didn't really want to do a video about the hatred towards gay people, but in order for us to understand why this man did this, then we have to accept the fact that, there are some people out here who just don't understand human sexuality. And there are people out here who will harm you because they don't understand who you are. And I tend to ignore these people, but maybe ignoring these people may not be the best way to handle the situation, because there are some people out here who are they're crazy. And for this man to go into this nightclub shooting innocent people he's never seen before, never met, don't know any of them, because they were gay. We have to understand that is the reason why he went to that club and chose that club. And he might have chosen it because it was Latino, who knows? But he did his research, you better believe that. And he went to that club strictly to kill people, members of the gay community. And I think a lot of people, somebody asked the question, why does the news keep pointing out that these people were gay? Because that's why he went there. He went there to kill people who were gay. I know it's hard for many of us to accept. It's hard for me to accept. But it's true. There are a lot of people who hate people. I get I get a lot of hate mail. I get so much hate mail. I get so much hate mail and emails and messages that sometimes, I kind of put this brick wall up around me, who I am. So when these messages come in, I just delete them and keep going. I don't even read it. The first few words, and I see where it's going, I just delete that mess and keep going. And I just kind of accepted it. Maybe it's a YouTube thing, because in my general life, as I go through life, I've never ever had an issue from anyone in regards to my sexuality. But I do know that there are people who don't like me because I'm gay. They may not say it to my face. They may not say it around me. They may not say it in my presence. But I can imagine behind my back, or if I'm not there, they may have some snide comments to say about my sexuality. I accept that. You can't make everybody like you. I'm cool. I'm very cool with that. But when you have incidents like this, when you have 49 people dead, they didn't do anything to this man. They don't even know who he is. And all these people probably didn't even have the people who are dead today. They're dead for no reason at all, other than the fact that this man didn't like gay people. And I'm willing to bet there are probably some straight people who were in that club who lost their lives because they were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. In essence, I guess all those people were at the wrong place at the wrong time, including the crazy man who came in there with a gun to shoot and kill people. We can't allow this man to let us live our lives in fear. That should not be the case. This is not the first attack against a gay nightclub. There was a club many years ago that was set afire with patrons in it in New Orleans. Someone threw a firebomb into the club and burned people alive in a gay nightclub in New Orleans. You can research the history of that story. But we kind of accepted these types of incidents as normal. in our communities now. When I say normal in our communities, I'm talking about the entire United States. We've gotten so used to somebody grabbing a gun and shooting innocent people that doesn't seem to faze us. We go on about our lives. And it doesn't matter if they're in a church, a movie theater, a school. Just innocent people shot and killed for no reason. And we as a society, we cannot continue to let this happen in the United States of America, where you don't feel comfortable going to a movie theater. And I'll admit, after that movie theater shooting a few years ago, I stopped going to movies that are open at night. Whenever there's a crowd in the movie theater, I'm not comfortable, so I don't go. I'll wait a few days I'll wait a week or 2 or 3 for the movie to not be so popular. So when I go into the movie theater, there's just a small group of people in there. I feel more comfortable in that environment than in a movie theater with hundreds of people. Because what if something does happen? How do you get out of there? I'll be very honest with you, even before this incident happened over the weekend at this nightclub, I have begun to be very uncomfortable in packed nightclubs. Because they pack these clubs to capacity. You can't move around, you can't get around, you can't get to the bathroom, it's just a lot of confusion. And so when I say, if I'm in a nightclub and I notice that the club is starting to get too packed with people, I leave. And I'm not worried, because you never know what might happen. And in many instances, these nightclubs only have one way in and one way out. Everybody can be trying to get to that door. And it can lead to some serious problems. So whenever there's a packed nightclub or a packed movie theater or any venue, there are a lot of people. And I think that people and there's no control over these people. I have a problem with that. I'm not comfortable with these environments. So maybe some changes will come out of this with these nightclubs, and they will have more exits. I'm so sick of going into these nightclubs and there's only one way in and one way out, and that's it. They need to have multiple ways to get in and out of these clubs. And if anything happens, you just don't know. And I can imagine that what we saw over the weekend, this is not going to be the end of this. There will be other people who will copycat this man, what he did. And I don't think he could have been stopped. There was one off-duty police officer at the club. They probably would have to have an army of people to protect those club goers. And maybe now it's time for club owners and to begin looking at laws to change so that people who work for the club, bartenders, DJs, staff, can carry a weapon. Not necessarily the patrons of the club, but people who work at the club. They should be allowed to protect and carry weapons, or they need to bring in more armed police officers to some of these environments, in these nightclubs. But I don't want everybody living in fear. It's okay to have a little caution, but I don't think we should be running around scared to death or frightened about what this man did, because that's what we will be allowing him to win this battle. And I think it's disheartening what took place this week. Some of those people were so young. So a few of these people were my Facebook friends, and I'm looking at all the posts and videos. The gay community isn't but so large. Orlando is pretty much right around the corner from Atlanta, Georgia. Everybody knows everybody. And so I'm looking at these videos, pictures and posts. And I also wanted to say, guys, don't waste your time arguing with religious people who think that this is God's will for what that man did. I'm not even going to dwell on that subject. Do not waste your breath arguing with crazy religious people. If that's how they feel, just ignore them and keep on moving. This has been a rough weekend for those family members, and although I'm here in Atlanta, it's very just shocking what took place, and it's just saddens, really, really saddens me that all these young people lost their lives because of a maniac who hated them simply because They were living their lives in truth, something that he possibly couldn't do himself. I'm willing to bet you $1 million that this man was gay who did this murder. But anyway, if you like my videos, click like, share them with family members and friends. And I can't wait to read you guys' comments. Yeah, but I'm willing to bet you $1 million that this man was in fact gay. And I might just discuss that further in the video. Anyway, I'm out. Enjoy your day.